Time to wrap up this project. Dolphin not included. This is the very popular Bitfenix Prodigy Mini-ITX case. The front of this midnight black version is mesh, which works out great since we're going to be air cooling this PC. The handles and feet are coated in Bitfenix's soft touch material. Inside you'll find a pair of 120mm fans and removable drive cages. Underneath there's an air filter for the power supply, a removable mesh filter up top, and space for an optical drive if you need it. Need to set up the case a little bit before I start installing all of the components. So I'm going to be taking this piece out, which is just a drive cage, because we don't have that many hard drives, so it's really neat that you can do that here. I'm going to be replacing this front 120mm fan here with this 240mm fan. And then in the back, I'm going to be replacing this 120mm fan with the Sigmatech wide LED fan. And just like that, fans are installed. And the next piece is a little bit more challenging because we start having to worry about installing the motherboard and the power supply. Now the power supply that I'm using is modular, fully modular, so that should help a lot. And I know from the previous video that the motherboard is going to fit in the way that I want it to. So let's go ahead and do that. This is a Corsair RM650. I've already have a unboxing video of this, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check that out. We will be needing a couple of the modular leads. So we need the 24-pin motherboard power. We need the 8-pin power, which is this guy, again for the motherboard. PCIe for the video card, and then we need SATA for our drives. Now the back of the case comes with this little mounting bracket that's going to sit like here, and then this gets installed, and then we'll install that in the back of the case. Here's the power supply with the flange installed, and I want to show you how much space we have left once I have it in the case here. So let me refocus and I'll show you. Power supply gets installed from the back and it just slides in, and there's a couple of rubber feet on the bottom to support it. It is at a weird angle because I wanted to show you this, and if I move this you can see that there is some space left between the back of the supply and this little bracket. Now I'm going to continue to use this for the hard drives, so this really is the the end of how much space that we have. But there's probably about 3/4 of an inch between the back of the supply and this part right here, so that should be enough room for the modular cables. Alright, well that took a little finagling to get that in there. Here are all of the modular leads plugged in, power supply installed, and I wanted to show you what the back looks like here. So this is the back of the cage for the power supply, and it's probably easier if I do it this way. These right here are the modular cables that are hitting the drive cage, and that's not bad because these sleds come in and out okay, but it is beyond that point here. So if I turn this just a bit, you can kind of see this is the back, and then the cables are here, and then they just shoot up over here right there. So it does fit, but it is a little bit tight. If you're going to be building in this case, you got to be really mindful of the power supply that you use, but this fits in there, and we can get going. Motherboard is in place, and as you can see, things are starting to get full inside the case. Now I did get rid of this optical drive bracket, which was sitting here, kind of like that. That's just held in with some screws, and I did that so I could get the motherboard in place without rubbing the top of the bracket. So that just came out nice and easy, and I think I will just leave it off altogether because I'm not going to be using an optical drive that I've just decided, because I don't really need it. Here, there's a nice area here for cable management, and I'm running the power for the video card underneath the hard drive cage here up to the other side. This side is much cleaner and much neater than the other. Underneath the hard drives is that power cable, which is going to be plugged into the video card, and I should have enough slack in the line to be able to do that without any issue. We'll find out in just a little bit. Above that is a Western Digital Black 1 terabyte mechanical hard drive. This is going to be for data storage. Above that is a Samsung EVO 250 gig hard drive, solid state. This is going to be for operating system and program installation, and it's coming along. This video card might look familiar. It's actually the same video card that I have in my computer. So if you want to see an unboxing of this, go take a look in the description below and you're going to find a link to that video. This is an EVGA Geforce GTX 760 super clocked edition, 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory, and it's a solid card. It's going to work really well. One of the other considerations when I was looking at video cards was the physical size of the card because of the size of the case, and this will fit in no problem. You have to do a couple of things to get a video card installed. There's this little bracket that's held in by a thumb screw that needs to come out, and then of course we need to remove these little plates, which are also held in by thumb screws. So once you get those out, you've got the space to install your video card. So I had to change up where I had the power for the video card. I had it underneath, but I really didn't have enough space because the power plugs were up here as opposed to being on this side. So I just rerouted it up and around, and it works out okay. I'll show you the other side so you can see what I'm talking about. But overall, I think it's looking great. It's nice and neat. This Bitfenix Prodigy case is easy to work with, and I haven't had really any problems at all. Here's the power for the video card, and I have it right now just wrapped around the outside of the fan for the CPU cooler. That may not be the best place to do it, but I can just take it and then just route it underneath that way. So I'll turn it on, I'll see how it goes, but for now that's where it is. I've got the rest of the cables plugged in and then just coiled into this little space right here, and all of the SATA power and data cables plugged in as well. The last thing I need to worry about is plugging in the front panel connectors. The Asus board does come with these little Q connectors, so I've got a solid plug into the motherboard and then each of the leads that are easy to get to, and that's perfect. I installed the video card a little bit too early because I hadn't yet plugged in the side panel connector for the different cables and plugs. Most of them are over here, but the audio jack is right here. So I needed to take the card out so I could get to it. One good thing that I noticed though about the Bitfenix Prodigy case is that the side panel connectors, or at least this one anyways, is removable. So I can plug this in, route this how I need to route it, and then anytime in the future where I need to take that panel off, I don't have to worry about taking the video card out to get this out completely. I can just unplug it right from the source. That's a really good design. Alright, all the cable management is done. The back panel is plugged in with all of the appropriate cables where they need to be. And overall, I think it just looks really neat. Everything is tidy where it's supposed to be, and it's just the way that I like my PC builds to go. This was a really fun project, really cool to do. This case is awesome. So if you're looking to build a small form factor computer, I don't know that you can get much better than this guy, because it's really good. And also take a look at the description below. You're going to find links to the playlist for the entire build series, as well as the unboxings for the different products that we're using here as well. Also follow me where I'm at, and you'll get updates on stuff. And that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching. See you next time.